What's poppin', my Poke people? It's your boy Poke Perk. And as you know, since the release of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet era TCG, there have been around 309 illustration rare and special illustration rare Pokemon cards. The top of the line being from Pokemon Surging Sparks and Pokemon Prismatic Evolutions, which we all know, the hunt for the Umbreon EX, aka the Umbreon 2.0, and the Twerkachu, aka the Pikachu EX special illustration rare, being the top of the list. But out of those 309 illustration rare and special illustration rare Pokemon cards from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet TCG era, only 20 of those cards are under $5. Absolutely insane. Out of 309 Pokemon illustration rare and special illustration rare cards, only 20 of them are under $5. Now, before we get into this list, guys, I'm going to need you guys to go ahead and hit that like for me, drop a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel with notifications. Let me know what the most expensive Pokemon card from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet era you own is. Let's get it. Okay, my Poke people, here you see I'm on TCGPlayer.com, and I have 309 results for Pokemon illustration rare cards, right? So all 12 Pokemon Scarlet and Violet sets that we have so far, cards, Pokemon 309, rarity, illustration rare, we have 219, special illustration rare, we have 90, okay? So out of those 309 cards, only 20 of them are under $5. Absolutely insane, right? And only one of them is a special illustration. And we'll get into that right now. Before we start looking at these guys, go ahead and hit that like, drop a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel with notifications. Please and thank you. So Pokemon illustration rares. Of course, the bottom two with a market price of $1.36 and $1.81 are the shiny illustration rares from Pokemon Paldean Fates, being the Suspect Water Sausage Wug Trio number 224 out of 91. I don't know why Pokemon's pushing Wug Trio so hard on us, but they are, and I really don't understand it. And then we have the shiny Sleepy Palmy at 226 out of 91. Now, at the jump, I was excited for the Palmy. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I was really, really excited for it. It looked good, but it just became an utter troll card along with the Wug Trio. So the bottom two cards, Wug Trio and Palmy, they're just terrible cards, right? And then next, number 202, we have Stunfisk illustration rare from Pokemon Surging Sparks. $2.33 market price. Not terrible. That's like what an illustration rare card usually goes for. Around that price, $2.30, $2.50, somewhere around there. But you can barely even see the Stunfisk. Probably why it's so low. He looks all mad because you see the footprints around him. Someone probably stepped on his little self. And then next, I don't know why this card is so cheap. I don't think it will be for too much longer. But from Pokemon Obsidian Flames, we have the Varoom illustration rare number 206 out of 197 with a market price of $2.53. I mean, he's the little engine that could, right? I love Varoom and I love Revaroom. Very underrated Pokemon, in my opinion. I'm just a fan, right? I like Steel Pokemon. But Varoom and Stunfisk at the bottom four of the list of 20 Pokemon cards, illustration and special illustration under $5. Next, we have Batfin, aka Palafin, shiny illustration rare from Pokemon Paldean Fates with a market price of $3.27. This card doesn't even deserve that market price, honestly. But I have like 500 of them, so I'm kind of happy it's getting pumped a little bit. I might have to start offloading some of them. Batfin looks cool. I just hate Palafin. Like, I'm not a fan of him. And then next, we have number 177 out of 167, the Heliolisk illustration rare that I actually think looks amazing from Pokemon Twilight Masquerade with a market price of $3.29. Now, I do agree with the Heliolisk. I don't agree with the Batfin. Batfin should definitely be cheaper. It sucks. It's a troll card, and I'm pretty sure everybody pulled about like 900 of them on their hunt for Bubble Mew, but it is what it is. Next, we have the ugliest Pokemon in creation, being Bruxish, number 200 out of 191 from Pokemon Surging Sparks, the illustration rare with a market price of $3.33. I hate this Pokemon. Utterly hate it. It looks terrible. The card looks good, but the Pokemon is so ugly. And then next from Pokemon Twilight Masquerade, we have the Wattrel illustration rare diving under the water to catch some food. I don't know how you didn't just kill everything that's inside of there, but it is what it is. With a market price of $4.26. As you see, we barely even started, and the prices are just going up rapidly for these illustration rare cards that are actually pretty common to pull. Next, we have some snow creatures. The next one is Titan number 201 from Pokemon Surging Sparks with a market price of $4.27. Now, I love this card. I think it looks absolutely sick. I'm a fan of Titan, so I could just be biased. But the card itself is absolutely stunning to look at. I think it deserves the price of $4.27. And then next from Pokemon Stellar Crown, we have Crabominable illustration rare, number 149 out of 142, with a market price of $4.28. Now, I think this card is actually sitting low because you can barely see Crabominable, honestly. But I like how they put the ice Pokemon back to back like that with a 1 cent difference. But 427 and 428, we have Titan and Crabominable. We keep it pushing. And we have number 146 out of 142 from Pokemon Stellar Crown, the Turtonator illustration rare, the Derpy Turtle. Now, I know everybody calls Terrapagos the Derpy Turtle, but this was the originator of the Derpy Turtle with a market price of $4.34. I think they could have done a better job with this illustration rare, but I am still a fan of it. I won't lie. I think it looks pretty sick. And then with a 1 cent market price difference, we have Vivillon illustration rare number 193 out of 191 with a market price of $4.35. The realistic illustration rares actually are stunning to me. I think they look like National Geographic cards where people like go out and capture them on film. Looks absolutely sick to me, in my opinion. Let me know what you think. And then we're moving on and we're getting towards the higher priced illustration rares. From Pokemon Stellar Crown, we have the Archelodon illustration rare number 155 with a market price of $4.36. Really not that bad. Its ability makes the Archelodon EX more playable, so I think this card might actually see a little rise in price soon. Not a lot, but a little bit, because Metal Bridge makes sure that the Pokemon with Steel Energy attached to it have no retreat cost, which is actually relatively playable. So the Archelodon illustration rare, $4.36, parading through the little town they have there. Then we have from Pokemon Surging Sparks, Larvesta illustration rare, Sleepy Larvesta at that, number 196 with a market price of $4.43. Now, I do expect this card to actually jump in price a little bit. It probably will drop after that, but not back down to $4.43. I think it'll stay up around like $7-ish here shortly. Sleepy Pokemon are back on the rise. Moving on, from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet base, we have Bombardier illustration rare, number 219, at a market price of $4.50. Now, even on this little picture right here, you can see how bad quality control was with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Look at the print lines on the card just from that picture is absolutely insane. But we got the baby delivering Stork Bombardier, the Titan Pokemon. Super sick card. I mean, the art is absolutely stunning and you can't go wrong with it. These two cards definitely deserve their market price. And then moving on, we have a super sick card being the Cramorant illustration rare from Pokemon Twilight Masquerade. I love the focus of the card. I think that looks absolutely sick. With a market price of $4.56. I do think this card will jump a little bit. Not a lot, but I do think it will jump. And then next we have the Dottler illustration rare from Pokemon Paradox Rift. I don't know why this card's sitting up around this price. It should be a little lower in my opinion, but it is what it is with a market price of $4.77. I mean, these cards are absolutely stunning, don't get me wrong, but I don't see the hype around the Dottler. That's just me. And then moving on to the final two cards that are under $5, being the illustration rares. We have our first special illustration rare, being the Reverum EX from Pokemon Obsidian Flames, number 224. Don't know why this card's so cheap. It's absolutely insane to me that it's this cheap, because you can attach up to 4 Pokemon tools to it. The artwork is brilliant. The market price is only $4.87, and that's actually a jump from what it used to be, was only $1.80 something. Now, I could go in more and show you like the older values and stuff like that, but that would be a very long video because there's 20 of these cards. But market price of $4.87 is kind of a sin for this card. I mean, look at the artwork by itself, should be a little bit more than that. Absolutely love this card. It was my main chase from Obsidian Flames. I never pulled it, but my boy Uncle Dooney on Instagram sent it to me for free in the mail, and I thank him highly for it because Obsidian Flames is very hard to find. And then next, we have everybody's favorite Fire Peppers, being the Skull Villain illustration rare from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet base, with a market price of $4.89. You see him here like a little tavern, little bar, or whatever it is, spitting fire at his counterpart. I don't know why he's trying to burn himself alive, but it is what it is. But guys, those are the 20 cards that are under, the 20 illustration rare, special illustration rare cards that are under $5 from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet TCG era. Because if we move on, the next card would be Poltergeist illustration at $5.10, and the Shiinotic illustration from Surging Sparks at $5.15. So go ahead and hit that like for me. Drop a comment down below. Tell me what you think about this lineup of cards, and why do you think this Reverum is so cheap, because I don't understand it. And subscribe to the channel with notifications, please and thank you. Peace.